You want to make a grand entrance to the pig party? Well, me and Orville are going to show you how to do a cowboy roasted pig above the ground. I am so excited because we're having a cowboy pig picking party today. We're going to go uptown. Woo, it is going to be good. Y'all have not met Orville. Well, you did see him hanging out the window there. We went for a little drive. He wanted to see the sights before he come over. This is one of the, to me, the premier classics that you can have if you're having a big party. And to begin that process, we really need to have an injectable marinade that we're going to put in there. So we'll get to making it. I'll meet y'all back here in just a second. We got us some water, 1 stick of butter, some apple cider vinegar. No, apple juice, Shen, apple juice. About yay much. Some Worcestershire, some Karo syrup, some brown sugar.
Let me guess, about that much.
About that much is pretty close. We're gonna get us some kosher salt. We're gonna use a rib rub because we really wanna get that flavor way down deep in that hog. And this is what we put on all our ribs, sometimes brisket, sometimes it's got a childproof label you can't get in. But you use whatever is your favorite hog rub. Put this back over here on old Bertha to where everything gets incorporated well and the butter melts. While that's taking place, we're gonna splay that hog out so he can get ready to lay on the fire. Glove up, it is time. Now some of you might be asking yourself right now, where can I get a hog like this? These hogs weigh about probably close to 40, 42 pounds. Source them from your local butcher. He can tell you where you might can get one or he can get you one. But we got to remember, I told you we had to take this hog to where we can get him to where he'll lay flat out. So go right through that rib cage, give him a little push. Come on down here just a little further in this pelvic bone area. We just want to get them hams out there where they're like that. Now I want this hog to be able to lay flat. Glad you come in to visit me today. I can tell that you have some problems going on here. Looks like it's in your lower back, so we're gonna give this a quick pop. Oh, feels better, don't it? Okay, let's get this other side. Oh. Now I know you've been having some trouble here, so here we go. Oh. You're in good shape and ready to go to the fire now. Now, you can see that backbone is running right down through here. Now, if you was to split that, you'd really be damaging that loin when that fire got that far down there into it. So I just try to crack these rib bones right here to where they will lay out. It don't take much usually. Then just give him a mashing, try to get him out here flat. In here there's some loose meat and some membrane around. I try to get as much of that off as I can. You know, like when you're peeling ribs that you're cooking, you try to get some of that old silver skin and everything off of them, but just trim it up. Maid said I would take that bite if you had it for me. There's a lot of moisture in here that we really need to get rid of, so get you some good paper towels or a good white rag that will get this moisture out. The little injectable marinade has warmed up, the butter is melted, all the seasoning has been incorporated, so you just start wherever you want to, but we're going to try to get as much in there as we can. And usually when you do this, it'll try to squirt back out there at you. So don't worry about that. We're going to get that flavor in there.
Are you going to end up using the whole marinade?
We will use a bunch of it because we'll marinate him again after we turn him over after he's been cooking. But you can't, I don't think you can over marinate one any at all because this is really the only way that we're going to get flavor down inside this hog meat. So make sure you use plenty of it. But I like to try to go along that backbone if I can to get some into that pork chop. Come in between every rib. Don't forget the front shoulders. We're going to probably use a little over half of this marinade the first round through. Because when we get him over here cooking, he's going to cook meat side down first. Now you see me dry this pig off to get that water and moisture and grease off of him, but as this marinade might come out of one of them many holes that was plugged in him, that's all right. Just rub that stuff on there. We're using our rib rub, and you want to give it a pretty generous shaking because we want to get this hog coated well. Now try to avoid getting any of this on the other side of the hog. We don't want any on that skin. Give it a good rubbing in everywhere. Let's get him turned over here. Make sure he's good and dry because that's what's going to help that skin crisp up, turn that good, rich, red mahogany color that we're really needing. I did have a guy tell me that he stole his wife's hair dryer one time and used it to dry it off even better. But I don't want you to get in trouble, so don't do that. Got him good and dry, we do. Let's salt him, because what is that salt going to do? It's going to help pull that moisture off this skin, and that is what we're wanting to do. Rub it in really well. Now that we got that done, let me show you the redneck cowboy way we're going to cook this hog today. I have cooked hog in the ground, wrap them in banana leaves, wrap them in toe sacks, but I like this method even better because I've got me 2 metal sawhorses that I've had forever, 2 pieces of pipe that are going to sit here. When we get that hog splayed out there where he's got this rebar attached to him, he will set on this grate right here all the way across. Then tin will go around the outside edges of it. We'll put coals around the outside edge. Hog is ready to go. It is time to get him trussed up to where he can sit over there and get to cooking on that cowboy hog cooking mechanism redneck special over there it is. But I got a good friend Heath Neely, and I want to introduce Heath to y'all. He is a great cook. He has helped me breathe in a lot of smoke and fire in the last so many years. But if you have a mesquite spatula or something like that, this guy made it, so it is pretty good. So a lot of people would wrap a hog in chicken wire, and then that way they'd be able to turn him. But we sort of do this way because me and Heath used to pour some concrete. We got us some rebar. So we're gonna put hams, shoulders, one in the middle of that backbone, clear to close off that ham to catch that loin. We'll get this situated. And one other thing I am gonna tell you too, right here at the start, if you're gonna cook a hog outside, you make sure you have 10 times as much wood as you thought you might need, because folks, it takes a lot of coals to cook him, not all at once, but you're going to generally add coals to him as you go. So bear with us as we get this hog tied up. We'll get him over and get him going. He is trussed up and ready to go, so me and Heath gonna give him a free ride. Try to keep him about half centered in everything. So now remember what I told you when you was gonna cook a hog, you gotta have a lot of coals. And we got Bertha fired up nearly plumb full to start off with this morning, but we'll have to keep wood burning throughout the day to keep this hog fired to try to reach the temperatures we want. So remember what I was telling you about the hams and the shoulders. We want to try to concentrate a lot of that heat right there. And you think, man, that's a long way from the ground. Well, I guarantee you that heat is getting up there. Hey, we're just going to add some to it. Thank the good folks at Smoky Woods. We're going to go with some cherry and some oak. Put them directly on them hot coals. We want to try to get a little smoke to running up there to see Orville. As you can see, we got all the coals mostly ham in, shoulder in. That's where we're going to try to concentrate that heat. That is the thickest pieces of meat on this hog. A little lighter going down the center of the back there where the loin is, because we don't want to burn that from the middle of that hog. Back it off so we can go ahead and just cook it slow and steady. About a 6 to 6.5 hour cook in this method. So we got some tin cut that we can prop up around here. Try to keep some of that heat centered to that hog. Well, that hog is cooking right along over him, and he looks so happy he does. It is time.
I don't know that he's happy about it.
He is. He was smiling when me and Heath was talking to him a while ago. And I think I even seen him wag his tail just a little. So I think he's pretty good shape. But we got to have a mop sauce. Some apple cider vinegar. Some apple juice. We're gonna go with that. We're gonna have some brown sugar in there because we gotta have some of it. Some kosher salt, which is about that much right there. Some coarse ground black pepper. Some red pepper flakes.
Did you try this sauce?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we're gonna add some of this rough chopped onion right here to it. And I'm thinking to myself, if we only had some Hatch dried chilies to put in here, it would make it even better. And look what we got just hanging around here in the kitchen. I like that one.
Hey, you know what?
I like it.
Chili started doing freeze dried.
Yes, they did,
And
freeze
I
dried.
think that would be
Yes.
amazing.
So these here used to be green chilies till they dried. We thank the folks at the Good Fresh Chili Company for getting this for us. Shake them seeds out of here and then just throw them in there because these are going to rehydrate. Give us a good stir. We'll put it over on Bertha and let it cook down till everything is good and tender. Then we're going to mop that hog with it, give him some of that flavor.
Can you give me a Vanna White pig pose? Horrible.
Well, we've been on 45 minutes. The mop sauce, has made its stuff. It is really getting after it. So we need to turn this pig over and get him mopped down. So take the tin off of him. Look at all this moisture that's coming out of that hide right there.
Wow.
Yeah. I want you to look in there. That would be the great finish color to have, but we ain't near there yet. So what we're going to do is back them coals off the sides a little more. Go ahead and keep some heat pretty good concentrated on the hams and the shoulders, but we're going to get him mopped, going to inject him a little more, refire, and let her go. I think I'm going to do this in like the dentist used to say to me. You're going to feel something, but you won't feel it much, and then they just job it in there. They don't even tell you what's happening. I have cut a lot of wood in my life, but I have never used a better smoking wood than this wood from Smoky Woods. Be sure and check them folks out. They got every flavor you might imagine. We've been on about 1 hour and 40 minutes, and y'all seen me when we uncovered this while ago and turned him over. We was looking really good on color, but I want to check that, make sure it's not getting any darker, because if it is, we may have to put some foil on it or rake them coals off a little further. So we'll get the pup tin off of him. That's about as dark as I want to get right there. We're going to mop him one more time, and then we're going to foil him up, and we're going to turn him back over here in a little bit, let him cook some more. Looking at the watch here, we have been on about nearly three hours, a little close to that. Hams have got up to the temperature that I really need to turn them over, and we'll go to working on
And
that.
what temperature is that?
Well, I like to get them to a temperature between 130 and 140 and then turn them hams over, and we'll finish that on the hide side. Ain't that a pretty sight? It is. I'm looking in there thinking, oh my gosh, I'd eat me some of that. We're gonna baste him a time or two, let them hams go ahead and finish cooking, them in the front shoulders, and then we're gonna pull that hog off and let him rest. Total time cooking, right about 5 hours and 30 minutes. We ended up flattening out some of that tent on top so we could get a little more heat to them shoulders and that hams, but keep that skin really good and crisp, get that great color that it had. And when you have a party like this, you don't have to invite people. They just show up because they can smell it. But this is what it's meant to be, is to bring people together with food and family. But as always, and it is with great pride, privilege, and honor, I tip my hat to all our servicemen and women and all the veterans who have kept that old flag a-flying. We appreciate and commend you all. We do. Rest of you, get on up in here because I'm fitting to pick some pig. God bless you, each and every one, and we'll see you down the Cowboy Redneck Pig Picking Trail. He looks like he's smiling.
I'm sure he's thrilled to be here.
Uh-huh.
So dumb. No.
Oh, come on! He even looked at you. Hi.
Yeah.
There. Oh, that's perfect.
Shh. She beat herself.
What happened?
Film it, Shan, film it. He's getting heavy. Stun gun. He was a white pig. See here? White hair. It's probably a Chester White or a Poland China. Do you know your breeds of hog, Mo? Duroc, Hampshire,
Bacon.
Berkshire, bacon, pork chop.